We have all felt it. A single poorly timed, poorly delivered comment from a manager shatters the trust of an entire team. Most leaders believe they are stuck in a binary choice. They think they have to choose between being brutally honest or being unhelpfully nice. When you prioritize being nice over being clear, you fall into ruinous empathy. You care for the person, but by avoiding the necessary challenge, you ensure their work never improves. The opposite is obnoxious aggression. Here, you challenge the work, but you do it without any personal care. It might fix the immediate problem, but it burns through your team's professional goodwill. To move past these traps, feedback cannot be treated as an emotional outburst. It must become a repeatable sequence that transforms criticism into a shared tool for improvement. This sequence begins with a mindset called radical candor. Developed by Kim Scott, it requires you to do two things simultaneously: care about the person as a human being, while challenging them directly when their work isn't good enough. When you plot these on a matrix, radical candor sits in the top right quadrant. By combining empathy with directness, you build a relationship where people are grateful for the chance to talk through their mistakes. Before you speak, you must set the stage. The rule is to praise in public to build confidence, but keep criticism strictly private. This prevents the recipient's ego from going on the defensive and keeps the focus on the work. Establishing this mindset and setting the right environment is the first step toward the actual delivery of the feedback. Vague feedback is the most common trigger for workplace defensiveness. Labels like "not a team player" provide no data, leaving the recipient feeling attacked rather than supported. The SBI-I framework fixes this by forcing you to stick to observable facts. It turns a potential argument into a collaborative problem-solving session. You start with the situation and the behavior. Instead of a generalization, you point to a specific moment, like the 11 a.m. meeting, and describe only what you saw or heard. Then you state the impact. You explain the measurable consequence of that behavior. For instance, how a missed deadline caused the rest of the team to work through the weekend. Finally, you offer an invitation. By asking, "What was your perspective on that?" you move from a monologue to a two-way dialogue, giving them the space to share their point of view. This fact-based structure keeps the conversation grounded in reality. It ensures the focus remains on professional growth rather than individual character flaws. Even with a perfect structure, feedback is difficult. You must go in with the humility to admit you might be wrong, modeling the same vulnerability you want to see from your team. If the recipient gets defensive, do not try to control their emotions. Stay calm, acknowledge their feelings, and redirect the conversation back to your shared professional goals. Criticism isn't a punishment. When handled with empathy, it becomes a bridge that allows two people to address difficult truths without damaging their professional relationship. As Asana co-founder Justin Rosenstein observes, these honest conversations actually deepen connections between team members by creating an atmosphere of total transparency. Ultimately, the quality of the relationship is what allows the content of the feedback to be heard, understood, and eventually acted upon. The SBI-I framework is a tool for a single conversation, but when these specific, fact-based interactions become a team's daily routine, it signals to everyone that candor is expected and safe. This collective shift in behavior builds team psychological safety. Harvard researchers define this as an environment where employees speak up without fear of retribution. It is a workspace where people feel authentically seen and empowered to take risks. Research on hospitality workers shows that this safety allows teams to learn from their errors in real time, rather than hiding them. For minority groups, this environment correlates with higher performance and a greater sense of inclusivity. To maintain this safety net, leaders must continue to invite voices in. This means seeking input with humility, often by explicitly asking, "Please speak up the moment you see me doing something wrong." Constructive criticism is not an attack on the individual. It is the practice of replacing fear with candor, allowing a team to navigate uncertainty and improve together.